I ran all around. There's something I would say. What brings us together? There's left lasts us all day. Love made a circle and drawn us all inside. Where strangers are as can be, and loneliness can't hide. Self love, love what you're not. Open your eyes to tears and laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love on these mountains in the rain. I've never loved with. I've never before the sunrise. There was the day begin. I always knew I'd find you. I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day. Stand before me now. And give yourself love. Love is what's around. Yeah. You got to promise to tears that enter and yourself love. You know what love. Our love is born in fire. If that you like a seed, love can give you everything, but it gives what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes pray. If he opens teach you, and the best that he's so good. So love, sure. You hearts to cares that Good morning. We are calling your join together in a spiritual community, hope, courage, and compassion. Let us begin. Yes. Whenever this fellowship gathers together, we light a chalice, a symbol of the light, truth, and the warmth of love. This morning, our opening words are by Reverend Jacob Trout. We'll read them responsively. I'll read the words in white in regular type, and we'll all read together the italicized words in yellow. To worship is to stand in awe under a heaven of stars. The one of Father, the Son, wonder is. That works. Okay. Um, do we rise as we're willing and able, or stay seated? Remember your protocol here.
And I'd like you to join in with hymn number 18 from the great hymn, What Wondrous Love. What wondrous love is this, my soul, my soul. Things love makes such news, and takes away the pain of my soul, my soul. It's your hand, when I'm sinking down, sinking down, sinking down, when I'm sinking down, sinking down, when you're sleeping, us now, when you I feel, on my soul, my when it's soul, to love, to breath, of this. Thanks to the Lord will sing, God will sing. Let him be.
In the life of this spiritual community, there are some important things to know. Everyone matters and is welcome here. We're grateful to gather this morning because we meet in person only once a month on the fourth Sunday. In this room, we listen, learn, pray, and sing. Afterward, we get to eat lunch and meet new and old friends. This service will be available soon on the fellowship's website. In addition to our in-person services, we also meet via Zoom on the second Sunday of each month, 10:30 a.m. As a spiritual community of hope, courage, and compassion, we deeply believe in compassion. It is made even better when we give in to the power to actually do some good. To live out its mission and do some good in the world, the fellowship sets aside money to provide ongoing financial support to the Sunrise Navigation Center, which helps people experiencing homelessness find housing and other essential services. And every quarter, the fellowship also raises money to support a different social outreach program. This quarter, the funds are going to the Magdalene House, an Austin-based survivor and therapeutic community supporting women who have been sex trafficked. It's a 2-year therapeutic program that includes on-site lodging, access to healthcare services, counseling, and professional development. If you wish to contribute, there's a basket beside the door. Thank you for your generosity. And thank you to Dave and Dolphine for their technical services. Thank you to Debbie for her poster encouraging our monthly gift. And thank you, Sylvia, for bringing the flowers. Please remember those who sacrificed for our safety and freedoms this Memorial Day in our community prayer. This morning we gather to pray and reflect. We gather today as we are, wherever we are on life's journey. We gather in compassion, compassion for ourselves and for all those in this country and around the world who yearn for justice, for truth, and for democracy, and for food, water, shelter, and safety. If some of you are feeling particularly burdened, if somehow you are feeling less than you want to be, hear these words of assurance. We need not be perfect. We need not be whole. We need not be 100% all the time, or even most of the time. We need not even be right as others judge what is right. But if we are together in love, then we are beautiful in the eyes of one another and in the eyes of the whole. We gather to rejoice with those whose hearts are light and laughing, because for now the clouds of despondency are parted, and starlight or sunlight is shining through. Any community of faith must believe it has a higher purpose. And if ours is to do what we can do to make the world a better place and help each other become our best selves, then may it be so today in this sacred space on this beautiful planet, only home. Amen. Be blessed. Now I'd like to introduce Steve Brooke. But first, let's hear a little bit about him. Steve Brooke's life story is full of twists and turns. Born in Chicago and raised in York, Pennsylvania, he picked up a guitar at age 16 and played along with Pete Seeger records. A week later, he left for California to study philosophy and punch cows at Deep Springs College, 2 valleys west of Death Valley. The high desert, together with thousands of miles of exploring America by thumb, awakened his love for the West. After college, he headed back east, just in time for the 3 Mile Island nuclear power accident. A year later, he was on stage with Pete Seeger, singing some original verses to This Is Your Land. After blockading the plant and being convicted as one of the 3 Mile Island's 9, he made his way from activism to journalism as a reporter for the New York Times Picayune. In 2001, he appeared on TV's I've Got a Secret, a 6-time world pun champion, and he still MCs Austin's O. Henry Pun-Off. Steve co-wrote the Slade Please classic, One Good Year, and wrote other songs performed by the likes of Oscar-winning actor Russell Crowe. He wrote a satirical song a week for Jim Hightower's nationally syndicated radio show. He also tours as a member of the legendary 60s folk music trio, the Limelighters. If that's not enough, Steve is also a lay speaker at military and universalist churches around the country, where he sermonizes on the spiritual sides of everything from songwriting to his dog. Please welcome Steve Words.
I think we're doing the responsive reading here. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or clanging cymbal.
Prophetic powers and understand all these things in all. Can you have faith in every house and I have nothing.
If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body to be burned, but do not have love, I gain nothing.
No reservations, no other side, no ideas or books or in your class, in my virtual partner, and I'm not trying to keep you all through me.
Bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. Prophecies will come to an end. Tongues will cease.
Knowledge will come to an end. No remark. Stand upon heart. What you feel children is child. I already know. Much.
When I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. Now we see in a mirror, in a river.
Then face to face. Oh, I Lord
Now faith, hope, and love abide. These three, and the greatest of these is love. So we're going to imagine, for the sake of this morning, that it's the season of Valentine's Day, which is when I was originally supposed to present this service, but the good people at SASAC had other ideas. But then again, it's a timeless time. Love on Valentine's Day, it's a word we celebrate. But for religion, it's something of a four-letter word. Religion identifies its God with love, but when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, it has mixed emotions. It's terrified of many of the forms of human love, perhaps because it regards them as competition. Many scriptures pick love as grotesque, going as far back as Adam and Eve, when they recognize with horror and shame they are stark naked. We can see this mixed emotion in the history of St. Valentine's Day, in the fact that there isn't much genuineness. His feast day was set in the year 496, but nobody knows which Valentine it actually commemorates. A dozen different Valentines were martyred. Four of them were said to have died on February 14th. Whichever was the real Valentine, the legend grew that he was executed for performing secret marriages for Roman soldiers. He left a note for his jailer's daughter, and he signed it, Your Valentine. This legend is perpetuated to this day, particularly by greeting card companies. Even Unitarians share those mixed religious emotions. We proclaim that we side with love. But until recently, nowhere in our seven lofty principles was the word love to be found. The closest we come is that we came is narrower and more abstract. Compassion in human relations. I will say that the updated six principles now have the word love at the center. So that is a vast improvement. Today, I am here to speak for the competition. In honor of St. Valentine, we are gathered to celebrate love, not with squeamish scriptures, but from two sources that know love deeply and aren't prudish about it: popular music and the ancient Greeks. For the ancient Greeks, love was not merely a many-splendored thing. They gave it four different names to describe four different varieties. It was on this taxonomy that C.S. Lewis based his classic book, The Four Loves. This morning, I will reflect on each of these four loves, and I will pay tribute with a corresponding song as we go singing on the side of love. We'll begin with storge, Greek word for family love or affection. After all, our first experience of love is within our families. If we're lucky, it's a positive experience. It can make us more open to other forms of love as we grow up and we make our way beyond our moms and dads and siblings. At its best, family love is unconditional. Our parents love us not because we are smart, strong, or good looking, although, of course, every baby is. No, they love us purely and simply because we are. That's a lesson we can carry the rest of our lives. At the same time, storge is a challenging form of love. It's a love whose goal, if it's done right, is to put itself out of a job. Here's how Lewis describes it. We feed children in order that they may soon be able to feed themselves. We teach them in order that they may soon not need our teaching. We must aim at making ourselves superfluous. The hour when we can say, they need me no longer, should be our reward. Here's what makes it even more challenging. We hear that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. When it comes to parents and children, especially in a world that is changing at the speed of gigabits, they might as well be from different solar systems. Parents are preparing a child for a world that does not yet exist, based on their experience from a world that no longer exists. It's no surprise that both sides have a hard time understanding each other. But as the songwriter Graham Nash reminds us, we don't have to understand. We know the most important thing. We know they love you. And I'd like to sing along on the chorus here. And joining me on this and several other songs, Eddie Schmidt. Must have hope that you can live by, and so God yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. It's just our children, we'll slowly goodbye. Don't you would cry, so just look at them inside. And we live. And you have a chance to eat. Children will slowly break up. Be on the peace. Teach your parents well, your children, and teach them how. With them, eat the one thing, one thing, the one thing is right. Thank you. I know that brother. The second of the four loves is philia, friendship. Friendship is what family relationships might be if only we could choose our families. We don't get to pick our parents, siblings, or cousins. We do get to pick our friends. And they get to pick us. Friends love us, not because we are, but for who we are. Says Lewis, it is a relation between people at their highest level of individuality. Another thing that's different about philia is that it is a relationship of equals. Most friends are not equal in looks, abilities, or fortunes, but we treat each other as equals. As Lewis puts it, that is the kingliness of friendship. We meet like sovereign princes of independent states abroad on neutral ground. Like sovereign princes, we don't have fixed duties. If I'm a parent, I'm obliged to suffer through my kid's ballet recital. If I'm a son, I need a good excuse if I don't make it home for the holidays. With friends, I don't need excuses. We do things together because we want to. And we forgive each other when we hurt. And yet, the longer we remain friends, the more we feel like family. I have friends for whom I'll drop whatever I'm doing if they really need me. I know they will do it for me. Lewis writes, the mark of perfect friendship is not that help will be given when the pinch comes, force will, but that having been given, it makes no difference at all. The stereotypes don't mention it. Here expresses what we really feel. Or, as it expressed by the songwriter Carole King, you've got a friend.
When you're down in trouble and you need some love and care, and nothing, no, nothing's going right. Close your eyes, think, and soon I will be there, brighten up even your darkest night. You just are, and you know where I was waiting to see you again. Oh, when the spring summer fall, to do its kind, and I'll be there, yes, I will. Got it, babe. When the sky above you is dark and filled with clouds, and that old north wind is beginning to blow, keep your head together and say my name out loud. And soon I'll be a knocking upon your and see you again. We just friends somewhere far. I'll never again. It's gone, and I'll be there. Now ain't it good to know you got a friend? People can be so bold. They'll hurt you, they'll desert you, they'll steal your soul if you let them. Don't you let just stop when you know see you again. Oh, my friends, summer and fun. I only got them to last night, and I'll be there, yes, I will. You got a friend, you got a friend, and it gotta know you got a friend, and it's good to know you got a friend.
Brings us to the third of the four loves, eros, romantic love. When we celebrate love on Valentine's Day, Eros is the life of our partner, like the Greek god who is its namesake. Romance is love, it's most intense, and it's most elusive. It's most thrilling, and it's most dangerous. It can pluck me out of day to day existence and raise me to heights of ecstasy. Just as suddenly, it can abandon me in mid flight to plummet painfully back to hard ground and leave me both aching and grateful for broken bones. As Lewis observes, Eros does not aid happiness, for it is the very mark of Eros that when he is in us, we had rather share unhappiness with the beloved than be happy on any other terms. Eros is love over which I have no control. I don't walk into love, I fall into it. I say that I'm in love rather than love being in me. In that sense, it's a form of transcendence. Call it Eros takes me outside myself. It makes me long, however fleetingly, to merge with another human. But erotic energy can also lead to other forms of transcendence. Call it libido, call it kundalini. But when I channel it outside of a love affair, it can turn into art. I think of birds that put on bright colors and dance when they go courting. I think of all the creatures who enter their mating rituals by singing to each other. Eros moves us to appreciate beauty. Plato maintains that to witness beauty in a flesh and blood person can be the first step towards beholding its eternal form. For Lewis, too, erotic love points beyond itself. He writes, spontaneously and without effort, we have fulfilled the law towards one person by loving our neighbor as ourselves. It is an image, a foretaste of what we must become to all. Well, that's a philosopher for you. He insists that Eros must lead to something higher, to enjoy it for what it is. But that's why we have Valentine's Day. It's also why we have love songs. They remind us that romance on its own terms is a blessing like no other. One of my favorites is the classic by Edith Piaf, La Vie en Rose. The title translates Life in Rose, as in rose-colored glasses. Both the exquisite melody and the words capture the way in which the haze of a new romance can color every perception of every sense. And I'm struck by the darts of Eros, the sights, my sounds, and my sensations all seem more intense. Of course, roses eventually fade. So do most erotic relationships, if they don't burn themselves out first. It seems hard for our psyches to sustain such intensity for long periods of time. Thankfully, though, we do see couples whose romance remains in bloom as decades go by. The secret may be for Eros to make allies with less volatile forms of love, like affection and friendship. We've all heard the saying, love is friendship that is caught on fire. With friendship as the fuel and Eros as the flame, life can always be la vie en rose. Definitely need my cheat sheet for this one.
Quand l'air mourant dans ses voies, qu'elle me bat tout bas, je vois love your permettete d'amore, tremole leisure, et ça me fait quelque chose s'offre dans mon cœur, comme pas bonheur, dont je connais le corps. C'est dans la vie. La journée de la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi un peu qui va. Hold me close and me fast. The magic spell you cast. This is the beyond. You kiss me, heaven sighs, and the light smiles. I see the beyond. You press me to your heart. I'm in a world apart. Where you speak, angels sing from above. Every day, he could turn into little song. Give your heart and soul to me, and life can always be la vie. All things just give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be la vie. Oh, that's the force of the four loves is agape, translated as divine love or charity. In our own tradition, agape is the universalist thread. It's the notion that if we are serious about God being love, then sooner or later, all souls must be saved. If we're uncomfortable with God language, we can call it the love of which Gandhi and Martin Luther King spoke. It's love in action. The love we covenant to show one another in our churches and our beloved communities. The love that can transform a society. It's the love we've seen this past year from citizens in Minnesota, and Maine, and Los Angeles, and Austin as they shield immigrants from the rage of the ice thugs. Agape shares this quality with other kinds of love. It has no agenda of its own. Lewis puts it this way: divine love is wholly disinterested and desires what is simply best for the beloved. In some translations, agape comes out as charity. But when I think of charity, it carries a whiff of condescension. It's about doing a favor for someone who's less fortunate than I am. Besides, charity is the easy part of agape, like old age, chili peppers, or Austin summers. Divine love can be a fearsome and difficult enterprise. It challenges me to love the very things and people I'm inclined to hate. Lewis describes it this way: divine love in the man enables him to love what is not naturally lovable. Lepers, criminals, enemies, morons, sulky, the superior, and the sneering. Where other forms of love may come naturally, divine love often takes act's will.
That's the point of view of Chet Powers, who wrote the song Get Together. On the surface, it's a hippie anthem for peace and love. But listen more closely, and it's not so simple. In the verses, Powers paints our souls as divided. We're torn by opposing impulses of love and fear. We can make the mountains rain or make the angels cry. In each of our relationships, it's up to us which side we're going to choose. As the song puts it, just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. The blessing is that practice can make me a little less imperfect. The more I choose to love my enemies, the more agape lends me the courage to do so. And the more it gradually takes root in my heart. It is love which asks, forgive them, for they know not what they do. We all need forgiveness at times. I am often unconscious of what I'm doing, whether it's where I placed my car keys or how I'm treating a fellow human being. I need agape, not just to forgive other people, but to forgive myself. It can be uncomfortable to choose agape, song acknowledges, but it's worth the effort. It urges us. Come on, people now. We may not always succeed, but we can try and try again. Try to love one another right now. And now we can all sing it together. I'd like you to join in on the chorus.
There is one song we sing, fears way we die. You can make mountains rain, or make the angels cry. You know the birds fly away, so you may not know why. The lost friends before that, the future is very.
Yes, we've put a little more inclusive language into the chorus.
Time will come and some will go. We will surely die. The one who left us here returns for a sad life. We are born with the sunlight fading in the grass. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. Or the key to love and fear, there in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Yes,
Thank you, Steve and Debbie. This morning's service ends with extinguishing the chalice, these words, which we'll say in unison. As we leave the sacred place, in your return to life, you know, out of the world, and answer that you free God. Okay, let the camaraderie begin. Yeah.